Have you ever felt like you're constantly running in place, like you're pushing, trying, striving, yet nothing seems to change? You've watched the motivational videos, you've listened to the podcasts, you've read the books, and for a while, you feel fired up, you're ready to take on the world. But then, a few days later, the fire dies, the energy fades, and once again, you're back where you started, stuck. But what if I told you, the reason you're stuck has nothing to do with motivation? You have to find your why. Get more inspired, but here's the truth. Motivation is fleeting. It comes and goes like the weather. You can't build a solid life strategy on something that changes with your mood. You may set a goal to achieve something big, but if your self-perception hasn't caught up, you'll unconsciously sabotage your progress. You get stuck because deep down, you're carrying old beliefs. You have to see yourself not as someone trying to succeed, but as someone who already is that version of yourself. The confident one, the disciplined one, the resilient one. Because when your identity shifts, your actions follow. Limiting stories, outdated scripts that were probably written for you by someone else, a teacher, a parent, a past failure. If your space is cluttered, noisy, or chaotic, it becomes harder for you to focus. The path forward isn't about pushing yourself harder. It's about designing your environment to support the person you want to become. That means setting boundaries, curating your circle, organizing your space, protecting your energy like your future depends on it, because it does. And those stories are running on loop, convincing you that change is impossible. You might have the best intentions, but if your environment is filled with distractions, negativity, or people who pull you back into old habits, progress becomes a battle. Motivation will never win against a toxic environment. It's like planting a seed in poor soil and wondering why it won't grow. If you see yourself as lazy, unworthy, or not good enough, no amount of external motivation will fix that. Your actions will always align with who you believe you are. So if it's not motivation holding you back, what is it? It's easy to blame a lack of motivation. After all, that's the most common advice thrown around. You just need to want it more. It's something deeper, something far more powerful, and it's silently running your life whether you realize it or not. Let's dig in. Most people don't have a motivation problem. They have a clarity problem. Without clarity, motivation becomes wasted energy. It's like pressing the gas pedal in a car stuck in neutral, a silent force that shapes nearly every decision you make, your identity. You're revving hard, making noise, but going nowhere. They're not stuck because they don't want change. They're stuck because they don't know what specific change to create. Think about it. You wake up wanting to improve your health, start that business, write that book, or finally break that toxic pattern. But by midday, the vision is blurred. You don't know where to begin. You're overwhelmed. You hesitate, and hesitation turns into procrastination. Before you know it, the day is over. Another opportunity lost. Clarity is not just about knowing your goals. It's about breaking them down into actionable steps, building a system, and understanding what truly matters to you. But clarity isn't the only hidden factor. There's something else. You don't rise to the level of your goals. You fall to the level of yourself. Your identity is your internal thermostat. Let's be real. You don't get stuck because you're incapable. If you want to break free, you have to rewrite the narrative. Now let's talk about another invisible trap: your environment. We underestimate just how much our surroundings shape us. If you're always around people who complain, settle, or play small, it becomes harder for you to dream big. But even with the right environment and identity shift, there's one more thing that keeps people stuck: the fear of discomfort. We live in a comfort-obsessed world. Convenience is everywhere. Fast food, instant gratification. But growth doesn't happen in comfort. Progress is uncomfortable. Change is messy. Discipline is inconvenient. And that's why most people quit, not because they lack motivation, but because they've been conditioned to avoid discomfort. Here's a hard truth. If you want to build a new life, you have to be willing to sit in the discomfort long enough for the transformation to occur. That means doing the work even when you don't feel like it. Showing up when the excitement is gone. Sticking to the plan when doubt creeps in. Because it's in those moments, the boring, painful, gritty moments, that true growth is happening. The kind you don't see. The kind that isn't sexy or Instagram worthy, but the kind that changes your life. They are your safety net, your anchor, your autopilot when the days get hard. And let's not forget another sneaky trick. If the answer is none, then that's where you begin. Build structure, build discipline, build habits that align with your vision, not your feelings. A lot of people are stuck because they're waiting for the perfect moment, the perfect plan, the perfect conditions. But perfectionism is just fear dressed up in a fancy coat. It keeps you analyzing, preparing, tweaking. If your vision is shallow, you'll give up the moment things get hard. But if your vision is rooted in purpose and meaning, in something that matters deeply to you, you'll endure. You'll persevere. You'll rise. If you want to move forward, you need to be willing to move with imperfection, to start messy, to fail forward, because momentum matters more than mastery. Instead of taking action, you're afraid to fail, afraid to look foolish, afraid to not get it right on the first try. But here's the truth. Action creates clarity, not the other way around. Motivation might get you started, but systems keep you going. A system is a repeatable process that removes decision fatigue. It turns behaviors into habits. It eliminates willpower from the equation. When you have a system, you don't rely on how you feel. You rely on structure. You'll move because it's who you are. You'll act because you've built a life around consistent, aligned action, not fleeting emotion. You don't need to have it all figured out before you begin. You just need to begin and learn as you go. Waiting for the perfect time is just another form of procrastination. Now, let's circle back to something. While most people chase motivation, the successful ones build systems. Whether it's a morning routine that primes your day, a scheduled block of time for focused work, or a meal prep plan that removes unhealthy choices, systems are what move you forward when motivation fails. So if you feel stuck, ask yourself this: what system do I have in place to support my goals? And speaking of vision, let's go deeper. You need a vision that's bigger than comfort, bigger than excuses, bigger than the momentary desire to quit. Your vision has to be so clear, so emotionally charged, that quitting feels like betrayal, not to someone else but to yourself. So here's the big takeaway. You're not stuck because you lack motivation. You're stuck because you lack clarity. You're living with an outdated identity. Your environment is working against you. You're addicted to comfort. You're paralyzed by perfectionism. You're missing a system. Your vision isn't strong enough. Fix those things, and motivation becomes irrelevant. You won't need to rely on hype videos or morning affirmations just to get out of bed. Progress isn't about being hyped every day. It's about building a life that moves forward even when the hype is gone. So today, stop waiting for more motivation. Start designing a life that no longer requires it. Because the power to move forward isn't out there. It's already in you. You just need to clear the fog and take the first step.